Nelson yesterday, and Ever the comedian, he said he thought of something.
I'm thinking very seriously about taking him to some of those male bars with me the night before the game, and possibly, you know, spending 5 or 6 hours from, say, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and, you know, have a lot of activities.
We've got to really control the tempo. We can't let they run so well there. We can't let them get in a racehorse game there. And if we're going to do that, we've really got to be efficient offensively.
From a mental standpoint, you got to understand that in Game 7, now the pressure shifts. I think Dallas was of the mindset that, okay, we can go in here and play hard, but if we lose, we can always go back home. Now it's a different mindset. It's one game and you're out.
How ironic that it's Jim Jackson who is leading the Sacramento Kings. It wasn't too long ago that he was playing here in Dallas for Don Nelson, and at one time Nelson called him a baby. Now, Jackson co-owns 4 restaurants here in Dallas, and they actually have a day named after him. September 29th, 1995 is Jim Jackson Day in Dallas. Things obviously have come full circle for him, and he's got to be loving the position he's in to put them out of it tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Shelley. It's the same story for the
Back out to that extra straightaway for 3. He's got his 5th triple of the night.
Ball players again. Will he hit this 3? Yes, he does!
Out to Pages, straightaway 3. He's got the triple. The Kings do not get eliminated. There will be a 7th game in Texas.
For the Sacramento Kings, Mike Bibby, chatting pregame with Craig Sager. And for the Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki, it has come down to 1 game, and a spot in the Western Conference Finals rides on it. It's Game 7 at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, and it comes your way a shade over 38 minutes from now here on TNT. And we welcome you to Studio A in Atlanta.
Tackling this series, but Bobby Jackson's been the 6th man of the year all season. When you're out there, he has the ball. What do you try to do defensively against him?
Oh, man, it's tough. Just try to keep him in front of you and contain him and just try to make him make tough shots. He's a tremendous basketball player. He brings so much energy to their team. And, you know, I just try to go out there and control him, man, and make him make tough shots. But, you know, it don't seem like anybody's on him right now, so hopefully we can calm him down tonight.
Your coach, Rick Alleman, says he does not want you guys to get into a running game with them. That's your style. Are you going to pull back the reins today?
No, we're going to push every chance we get. We just can't take the dumb shots. We just can't take the shots that they take. I think it's all right for us to run, but we just got to pick and choose the shots that we take. And, you know, they love to come down and jack the ball up on first shot, and, you know, that's not our style. We like to pass it and get a couple more options out of them and make them work their defense.
And you guys are loose.
Oh, yeah, most definitely loose. I mean, we been loose all year, and we're just going to let it hang out all tonight.
All right, good luck. Let's go back to you, Ernie.
All right, thank you very much, Segs. Back.
Because I don't want to go from San Antonio to Sacramento, podunk to podunk.
We'll hear from the guy who spent 6
Dallas.
games and a lot of energy trying to shadow Kobe Bryant. You'll hear from Bruce Bowen next.
The Maloof might finish the Vegas.
Depot is more than a store. It's a powerhouse with powerful names like John Deere, Honda, Weber, and Toro. And right now it's powerful deals like free assembly with any lawnmower or gas grill purchase and free propane with any gas grill purchase of $119 or more. It's the guaranteed low price every day and the power to turn the outdoors into the great outdoors. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Introducing Intel Centrino Mobile Technology. The new wireless laptop technology designed to help you untangle, unburden, and unwire life.
Dish On Demand pay-per-view now offers more movie channels than ever before. More channels mean the exciting new movies you want to see are on more often throughout the day. Tune to channels 502 through 538 in your on-screen guide and check out the great new movies on TV for the first time. You can order with your remote control or call 1-877-DISH-PPV. So check out the new channels and order a Dish On Demand pay-per-view movie today.
If you own a timeshare, campground membership, or vacation home and don't want to pay another maintenance fee, mortgage payment, or tax bill, call now and sell for cash. Over $1 billion of timeshares sold in the past 6 months. Every day we help thousands of people buy and sell. Call now for your free information kit to buy, sell, or rent your timeshare or vacation property for cash. Call 1-800-542-0271. It's a free call, so call now. 1-800-542-0271.
Welcome back to the Gatorade pregame show. Without Chris Webber contributing in Game 7, can Sacramento take the next step? Will it be a big night for Vlade Divac against the Dallas Mavericks? Sacramento bids for a return to the Western Conference Final, or is it the time for Steve Nash and the Dallas Mavericks to set up an all-Texas Western Conference Final? The Spurs are waiting.
You had a Game 7 last year against the Lakers, home court advantage. You were not healthy with a sore ankle. The fact that you are healthy here, what pressure do you feel on yourself?
Well, we all have to feel a little bit more pressure now playing without Chris. We all have to do more things than we used to do when Chris was in the game, and now we have to all step it up and play as a team.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go back to the studios and Ernie.
All right, thank you very much, Craig and Peja. Just that was quick. Little minute and a half here to go before we take you back to Dallas. Some final thoughts on this. Bobby Jackson of Sacramento saying, whichever team chokes in the last 6 minutes will be the loser. And on Inside After the game, not long now, Vlade and the Kings, Dirk and the Mavs in a shade over 12 minutes. Oh,
that's
and the owners
right
are there too.
That's just two boys with too much money.
Not the last shot we'll see of those guys.
Than the other. It's just they're both high-powered offensive teams.
Well, the time is almost here, and do you have a feeling at all of who you might want?
For the second time of this postseason, fans here in Dallas are getting ready for a 7th and final game. The Mavericks are going to the limit for the second playoff series in a row. The winner tonight advances to the Western Conference Final against the San Antonio Spurs. Another capacity crowd out of the 19,000 have made their way into American Airlines Center with the season on the line for both the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. And just moments ago, the Mavericks took the court. Has been sky high since the Mavs took the floor. And we welcome you. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. And Czar, this is a Dallas team that won 60 games during the regular season. Here they are, one game away from making it to the Western Conference Final Series. And in the regular season, they did it in a different manner as opposed to what has taken place in postseason.
Boy, what's different right now is it's the small guys for Dallas that are leading the way versus Sacramento. The number 1, 2, and 3 scorers are Van Exel, Finley, and Nash, led by Van Exel's 26 points per game coming off the bench. Normally during the regular season, it's Dirk Nowitzki that led this team to scoring, but he has slid all the way down to the 4 spot, and his slide comes in at an unusual time. During the regular season, he averaged over 18 shots per game while averaging 25 points. He shot 46% from the floor. A great round one versus Portland where he took almost 21 shots per game, averaged almost 30 points per game, shot 52%, 56 from the three-point line. But now in this round, in these 6 games, only 15 shots a game, under 20 points a game, shooting 41% from the floor, 33% from the three-point line. And there are reasons for this. They are tracking him on all pick and rolls. They either double team or rotate to him immediately. In transition, they always have a guy finding him, seeking him out. There are no easy shots for him this series. But if they are to win Game 7, he will step up just as he did against Portland in Game 7, where he got 31 points, 11 rebounds, 12 for 21 shooting. Expect a big night from Nowitzki tonight.
Yes, Nowitzki's had very little impact in this series. And Jeff, as for Sacramento a year ago, they were able to knock off the Dallas Mavericks in 5 in the Western Conference semifinals. Now the Kings are fighting for their lives. What does Sacramento have to do to beat Dallas?
Well, Rick Adelman knows the key tonight for Sacramento is to control the tempo of the game and limit Dallas' fast break opportunities by playing inside through Vlade Divac's post-up. In Game 6, Divac's post-ups were very effective as he scored 21 points. But just as importantly, Sacramento got to the line 32 times and scored 58 points in the paint, which helped limit Dallas in transition to 13 points. But unless Mike Bibby plays better, it'll be difficult for the Kings to win. Bibby's had mediocre offensive numbers in this series, and it's affected his defense. Both his game at offensive end and the defensive end have to be better for Sacramento to advance.
All right, so both the Kings and the Mavericks, it has come down to this, a 7th and final game. The winner moves on to the Western Conference Finals. The San Antonio Spurs are waiting in the wings. We're back in Dallas, Texas. This crowd getting ready for Game 7 between the Kings and the Mavericks. Right now, we'll go to the public address voice of the Mavericks, Humble Billy Hayes. Sorry, that's correct. Humble Billy Hayes. Let's go to Humble.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Western Conference semifinals, round 2, Game 7. Between the Dallas Mavericks and Sacramento. Introducing the lineup for Sacramento. At forward from Turkey in his 3rd NBA season, number 5, Hedo Turkoglu. At forward, the Yugoslavia in his 5th NBA season, number 16, Peja Stojaković. At center from Yugoslavia in his 14th NBA season, 21, Vlade Divac. The guard from Arizona in his 5th NBA season, number 10, Mike Bibby. And a guard from Pepperdine in his 11th NBA season, number 13, Justin Christie. Head coach of Sacramento is Rick Adelman. season, number 41, Nowitzki. And the forward from Wisconsin, number 4, Finley. Head coach of the Dallas Mavericks is Don Nelson.
Financing available on all cruiser, sport, and street bikes. These sizzling savings give you one more reason to ride, and the deals won't last long. So get to your Suzuki dealer today.
This is a water-grabbing, sun-stealing, grass-killing machine. Okay, it's a dandelion, but it can wreck your lawn. Hi, I'm Ashton Ritchie with the Scotts Company. Wow, isn't this better? Scotts Turf Builder with +2 weed control is twice as effective as any other brand. Why? Scotts small particles stick to weeds better than larger ones. So Scotts works better. No wonder it's America's #1 weed and feed. Lose this and get this with Scotts Turf Builder +2.
It has come down to this for the Kings and the Mavericks as we get set for the opening tip. The officials, Steve Javy, Bernie Fryer, and Ed F. Rush. Percentages on the side of the home team, the Dallas Mavericks, the last visiting team to win a Game 7 in an NBA playoff series. The Lakers did it against these Kings and also in Sacramento in the Western Conference Final last year. And here is Nowitzki. So Dirk Nowitzki, who has not had a stellar series, able to hit on his first shot.
What Nowitzki is facing is a similar thing to what Tim Duncan went through during the Phoenix series. They were determined to take the ball out of his hand, make other people beat you, and until he can beat you by passing and finding open people, they'll continue to do it.
You know, Turgler way off. And back comes Michael Finley. Race LeFrance setting the high pick. Here's Nash for three. Yes. Rick Adelman telling us earlier they would like to get Mike Bibby involved at the start of the game. Holding foul. Bernie Fryer with that call away from the ball.
They'd like to get Bibby involved, but with Weber out, it makes it harder for Bibby to be effective because when he comes off pick and rolls now, they trap him. With the big guy Sacramento plays now, it's easier to get the ball out of his hand.
Well, that time Bibby forced it. He thought he was fouled.
He didn't really do a good job of rubbing his defensive man off of Lonnie Divac, so he would have had a little better look at the basket.
Nash had that shot altered, and back comes Bibby. Bibby with the change of direction. Crowd looking for a travel. Here's Stojaković from downtown. Peja Stojaković off a 24-point, 10-rebound game in Game 6. Able to bury that long jumper. Finley with the recovery. And on the switch by Stojaković. And now Turgler defending on Nash. LeFrance. Rebounded by Turgler.
Well, one thing that Sacramento has to watch out. Doug Christie's coming up the floor very slowly. He got poked in the eye in that last exchange down at the Dallas end. But one thing Sacramento has to watch out for is tempo of this game. They cannot get caught up in the crowd. Let's see if we can get a look at where Christie actually got hit. Right there. He gets hit in the left eye. Thinks he's got it, but he doesn't.
Non-shooting foul called on Nash. Bibby is wide open. Bibby tries the three. Rebounded by Divac. Here's Christie from downtown. Turgler with a good hustle rebound. Stojaković played well by Finley. And a foul is called on Bell.
Sacramento's such a good shooting team and a good passing team that Don Nelson has not been able to zone them as much, so they're going to have to get it done for the most part tonight defensively, man-to-man.
That's what you're going to see a whole lot. The ball going into Divac's hands, whether it's in the low post or at the elbow area. He is the one to start, initiate their offense.
Turgler missing on that tip attack. And the foul. Now on on one thing that we just saw that may be a key for Sacramento. You saw Vlade Divac not finish the playoff. As minutes build up, he's getting older in age, and with no Chris Webber to replace him on the floor, he's got to finish his inside shot.
I hate when guys get older in age.
Yes, I know that. I know what you're talking about.
Christie backing his way. There's Christie rejected from behind by LaFrance. Rage LaFrance, who has come on the last couple of games, had 6 blocks in game number 6 and came up with one right here. Now Stojaković fires the jumper. 3 minutes gone by in this first quarter, and the Mavericks have a 5-3 lead. Is Roger Bell, who has blossomed as an offensive threat.
And that's the problem when you switch a pick and roll with Bibby. He's not as big and he's not as good defensively as Bobby Jackson. There they had to come and double. Roger Bell open off the double team.
Divac. Nicely passed from Bibby. That ankle injury suffered by Adrian Griffin opened up a spot for Roger Bell in the starting 5. He contributed at the offensive end in games 4 and 5, 16 points, 13 points. Griffin, incidentally, is available for tonight. Here's LaFrance, and Christie able to reach for that rebound. Kings with the ball trailing by 2. Pergolo on a pick and roll. It counts, and the foul. Nice look from Christie.
Pergolo set the screen and then slipped the screen just as the defense started to show and tap the ball. He left. You see it right there. Christie delivers in the pass. Now a little hesitation. Get the defense up in the air. Draw contact. And then the concentration and the ability to finish. And now a potential three-point play by Hedo Pergolo.
Foul on the French, his second. He's replaced by Sean Bradley. How about the Kings the other night in Game 6? 31 of 32 at the foul line.
That's surprised. That's surprised that they're not a good foul shooting team or something.
Do you recall what took place in the playoffs last season?
What, that they may have missed a couple that affected the series?
Dallas got 19 for 22, and when that's a bad night, you know you're struggling.
The Kings have a 1-point lead. Here's Finley. Yes. Michael Finley has really come on. He was bothered early in the season by that hamstring, early in the series by the hamstring pull. Here's Pergolo, changed his mind. Stojaković with a rainbow. And back come the Mavericks, led by Nash. Nice play by Pergolo reaching in to break it up. Nash on the recovery. And Finley passed on the 3. Nowitzki will hit his first shot, swinging away, and score. Nowitzki connecting on his first 2 attempts. Dallas 11, Sacramento 8. Pergolo and Bradley with the rebound.
He had an open shot. He turned down the open shot to take a step back fadeaway shot. Made it more difficult than it should have been.
Here's Bell. Second field goal for Bell. Meanwhile, the Kings struggling on the offensive end. Just 3 for 13.
Jeff, I'm wondering if that subtle message of we can't take a quick, hurried shot each time down the floor. If they ran a sudden pick and roll, they get a quick shot each time with the screener stepping back. So maybe that's why Hedo turned that quick shot down.
Christie, crowd looking for a travel. Finley on the loose ball. There's Nash, kicks it out. Nowitzki, yes! An 8-0 run for the Mavericks. Look out, him, it is up, and walks to put it over.
One of the fields Adelman had was Dallas jumping out early in the game to a quick 12 or 14-point lead that they had to maintain an even keel. He gets Stojaković up in the air. Jumper for Nowitzki. Nash goes in, kicks out. Again, that picture-perfect jump shot by Dirk Nowitzki.
With today's fashions, if you're going to drink responsibly. 95 calorie Amstel Light.
NBA news, scores.
West Airlines. More than 2,700 non-stop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken. Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. And McDonald's.
The Sacramento Kings without Chris Webber trailing Dallas 15-8. Webber sidelined with that torn lateral meniscus in his left knee. Hopes with a slim chance that the Kings advance to the finals. He will be able to play with rest and therapy. He told his teammates before the game, no excuses. After the game, it's not going to matter who is healthy, who the leading scorer was. All that matters is who wins this game. Go out and do it. Daryl?
Thanks a lot, Craig. Well, if Avery Johnson's basketball career ends anytime soon, he certainly has a career as a motivational speaker. Before the game, his message to his teammates, well, look, guys, stop focusing on what we can't do. We may not be a physical team like the original Bad Boys, Detroit Pistons, but we can still hit somebody. We are not going to change who we are, but we can become physical, attack the basket like bees to honey, Mark.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Yes, Avery, a member of that NBA San Antonio championship team in 1999. We have double-barreled action on the sideline with both Craig Sager and Cheryl Miller. Bibby is looking for a call. 8-0 run for the Dallas Mavericks. Nash spinning his way on Bibby. And now they regroup. Roger Bell had a notion. Shot clock down to 5. Nowitzki. And last touch by the Kings.
Well, one advantage that Rick Adler felt they have in guarding against Nowitzki is the fact that both Stojaković and Hedo Turkoglu have played against him so many times in international competition, they feel kind of comfortable playing him one-on-one, so they have not had to double-team the machine.
Handed one-handed by Bradley and got it back. Nowitzki with the assist. Puts on Bradley.
And down at this end of the floor, Don Nelson feels that Bradley is his best low-post defender, so those early fouls on the fringe may have actually hurt Sacramento, because if Bradley can play him one-on-one, it takes away Sacramento's cutting game.
Stojaković for three. Pedro Stojaković from downtown that ends a 10-0 run.
Jeff, what do you consider Vlade, a scorer first or passer first in the low post?
He's a passer, and right there, Finley made the mistake of playing him as a scorer. You don't leave Pedro Stojaković. It left Del Harris to put his hand in his face.
Here's Bruno. Under 5 remaining in the first. And the Mavericks lead 17-11. A live TNT NBA Spanish language feed is now available via SAP. Divac played on a switch by Nash, and it's knocked away from Stojaković. Good defense here by the Mavericks in the first quarter. Nowitzki around Divac. You get the idea Vlade does not want to get himself in early foul trouble. That was a problem in Game 5 where he played only 13 minutes because of fouls. A hold is called. Foul on Bell.
It took Vlade that time, moved him up to the corner of the foul line area instead of down the low post. The pass and cut. Watch Bell try and get into the body. There's the foul, holding, blocking his path as he tries to cut through. But clearly, Nowitzki has the foot speed to go by. Vlade Divac scores an easy layup. Vlade not wanting to pick up the first.
I have a question for you. That foul on Bell, what did he do wrong?
He only got in the man's way.
Isn't that what defense is all about? Getting in other people's way?
Aren't you supposed to allow offensive guys to go wherever they want to?
That's not a foul.
Van Exel hearing it from this crowd as he checks in, replacing Roger Bell, and what a sensational series it has been for Van Exel, averaging 26 per game. In Game 6 Thursday night, 35 points in 37 minutes for Van Exel. Finley, shot clock to 6, is looking for Bradley. Bobby Jackson, who just came on, now he's playing the backcourt. It's Mike Bibby. Christie moves up front. Stojaković going glass. Pages hit 3 for 5. He has 8 points.
Pages looked down, realized that he had Nash on him, and just basically jumped up, shot it over the top, and used the glass. Which I know makes you very happy, Mark.
I love glass. Love to see those fast shots. Love glass. There's Van Exel. He went glass but wide. And Christie again took his shot, this time right at the bridge of the nose.
Van Exel's been shooting 53% from the floor, 44% from the three-point line in this series.
And Bibby continues to struggle. He is 0 for 4 from the field.
But he is playing much better individual defense on Steve Nash, cutting off penetration.
Jackson defending on Finley. Christie with another rebound. Kings on the run, broken up by Nowitzki.
One of those times you must pick and choose when you're going to push to take that opportunity, when you have numbers on the break, or try to control the tempo.
A kicked ball, so when we resume, it'll be Sacramento in possession. Dirk Nowitzki, coming off of 5 for 14 in Game 6, has come out firing and scoring. 5 for 7 from the field. He has 8 of the Mavericks' last 12 points.
They ran the first play of the game to try and get him a jump shot. He creates one off the dribble that time by pulling up, but screening down and getting to that middle of the foul line area. And then this guy Nash helps him by drawing the defense in and throwing back out to Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds in the opening round series against Portland after averaging 25 in the regular season. So as you mentioned right at the start, the numbers way down over the first 6 games of this series.
Oh, he's down 5 shots per game, and that's the result of the opposition playing so much defense to him that they're forcing him to give the basketball up. They want to see if he can become a good passer and help his teammates become better players. The same thing that Phoenix did to Tim Duncan in that series. They went and got him on double teams early, made Duncan pass the basketball.
Nash from Nowitzki. Average 21 of the Kings. 15. Rick Adelman has a 3-guard set with Bibby, Christie, and Jackson, along with Stojaković and Divac. But Bradley continues to do a good job on Divac.
And it's going to be hard for Divac to score over Bradley, and that's why Sacramento moved him up to the elbow as Van Exel hit the running layup. But if you move Divac up to the elbow, that takes him out of what their strength is, playing off of him in the low post.
Backs it away, but Stojaković recovers. Stojaković, yes. The Mavericks now lead 23-17, a minute 25 remaining in the first.
And you keep watching how many pieces of the ball. Nash turns the corner, misses the layup on the inside. I'm starting to say how many pieces, deflections Dallas gets on the basketball. They have stopped probably 3 or 4 shot opportunities by deflecting a pass that was on its way to an open man.
Jackson, offensive foul. Bobby Jackson playing with that fractured right cheekbone, not playing with any protection and going right at Sacramento, Dallas players. This time he's called for an offensive foul.
And that was great help by Steve Nash. He read it early. He beat Bobby Jackson to the spot and gave up his body.
It's great because most times it's big people that rotate along the baseline to either block shots, challenge shots, or take those charge opportunities. That's why when you practice, you have to invert your defense so the small guys take turns doing it.
Eduardo Nahara hearing it from this crowd as he checks in for the first time. Keon Clark has come on for the Kings. Out of 50 seconds remaining in the first. And Exel pass broken up. Here comes Christie. 2-on-1. Jackson is fouled by Nowitzki. Bobby Jackson will shoot 2.
Marv, I like how Sacramento is defending right now. Here on transition, though, their defense led to offense and gets them back to the free throw line. They've held Dallas to no free throws. They're shooting 28%. They're getting to the free throw line. they're hanging in there because they're playing smart basketball, even though they're not shooting the ball well.
Last season, the Kings, you recall, were up 3-2 against the Lakers in the Western Conference Final Series and lost games 6 and 7 to LA, including game 7 in Sacramento. The Mavericks, well aware of that possibility here at home. Nash thought he was fouled, despite the statistics that heavily favor the home team. It's Christie for three. And rebounded by Van Exel with a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Foul on Finley, trying to set the pick and knock down Christie.
You see Doug Christie getting up into the body of the offensive player after the pass is made. That particular time, it looks like it's a screen down, runs right over the top of Christie. That's where the foul is called.
So Sacramento has it back, and they'll hold for the final shot. The one-time Maverick, Jim Jackson, has come on for the first time for the Kings. Jackson coming off a terrific game on Thursday. Here's Stojaković, rebounded by Nash, time running down. Van Exel from center court. That's the end of the first here in Dallas. The Mavericks 23 and the Kings 19. Dirk Nowitzki setting the tone early, hit 5 of 7. 10 points, played the entire quarter. The Kings shooting only 6 of 23 from the field.
Welcome back to Dallas for the second start of the second quarter. Now, perhaps one of the biggest reasons why Dirk Nowitzki is off to a great start. In the first quarter, he had 10 points, might because of his longtime coach, Holger Guswinder, who flew in this afternoon from Germany. Now, he was here for the first round against Portland, but he got an emergency phone call from Dirk yesterday urging him to come. He's in attendance, as I had just said, but I spoke to Holger and I said, was Dirk nervous? Was he feeling uncomfortable about this Game 7? He said, no, it's a little more superstitious, but he wanted me to be here so I could look at his shot, make sure that he's relaxed, and the expectations were so high coming from that Portland game, or Portland series, that it was putting too much pressure, but as you can see so far, he's off to a great start and playing very relaxed, Mark.
I think his coach might make some more appearances, particularly if the Mavericks should advance to the Western Conference Final Series. Dirk out of Würzburg, Germany, his dad a standout football player. His mom a star on the women's national basketball team. Van Exel. And the ball back to Sacramento. That's the ball over the top of the backboard. Setting the Sacramento Kings, Stojaković with Clark and Jackson on the front line. Christie and Bobby Jackson in the backcourt. Jim Jackson, played by Eduardo Nahara. And Bobby Jackson with the shot. Kings have been way off.
Hey, Mark, their backcourt's got to start making some shots. They're 0 for 11 in the backcourt. That's not good enough.
Roger Bell has been very opportunistic. That is 6 points for Bell. And the Mavericks now lead 25-19. Sacramento team that went 59-23 in the regular season, first in the Pacific Division. And in the first round of the playoffs, beat Utah in 5. Here's Nowitzki. Yes. 6 of 8. 12 points for Nowitzki.
Sometimes when you are forced to change your lineup and you go with an unorthodox lineup, unorthodox good team, it's hard to get the movement and continuity. And that's what's happening to Sacramento. First of all, we see the foul take place on the inside. First of all, they've got Weber out. Remember, Weber and Divac are two of the distributors for this team. They throw them the ball, run cuts, and get it back. So with Weber out, that's one huge piece. With Vlade on the bench right now, because Dallas will go small so many times, it becomes tough to run your normal offense, and that's what Sacramento's experiencing.
Bobby Jackson off the mark, kept alive though, nice back tap by Clark. Deion Clark. Loose ball foul on Clark.
And right now, Clark got a good look. They have to trust Keon Clark just like they would trust Divac. Throw it into him. The perimeter shots are not going. Get something going to the basket.
And just to add one more thing to that, first of all, Clark is not as good a passer as Divac. The second thing is, because of the way this playoff schedule has fallen for these two teams, Sacramento has really had no practice time to get on the floor. Blocked by Keon Clark and try to make those adjustments live.
Well, Tim Jackson, and he took a shot on the top of the head. Rick Adelman felt should have been a three-point possibility. At the other end, Nowitzki draws the foul. Rick Adelman could not believe that a foul was not called.
Starts at the defensive end of the floor when Nahara thinks he's got an open look at the basket until Keon Clark gets up there and rejects that. And then Aja giving it up. The back of the head, right elbow, according to Jimmy Jackson, hit him in the back of the head.
Foul on Stojaković, putting Nowitzki at the line. Mavericks at the line for the first time. Reminder, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, exclusively on TNT, begins Monday with tonight's winner going up against the Spurs in San Antonio. Our coverage begins 9 o'clock, Game 2 on TNT. It will be Wednesday night at 9. The Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow on ABC at 1 o'clock with the Nets and the Pistons. Game 2 Tuesday on ESPN. Bobby Jackson. So finally, the Sacramento backcourt hit the shot.
1 for 13 more between the three guards, Bibby, Christie, and Bobby Jackson.
Van Exel played very aggressively. Here's Van Exel putting the move on Clark, and he draws the foul. Clark collects a second, and a timeout call.
Bobby Jackson finally gets a basket for the guard court of the Kings, getting a clean foul line jumper, and he hits it.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Yeah, but I like it because it's less filling. Great taste, less filling. Great taste. Wait a minute, man. You know, I'd really like to start communicating better. Oh, and I'd like to create a friendship where we support each other's growth.
Now there's a commercial I'd like to see. Hot guy. That's what you need for expressing emotion.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got a good idea.
This shirt is chafing me. Mine too.
To my oldest son, I leave the chateau on the French Riviera. To my only daughter, the Manhattan penthouse. To my youngest son, I bequeath 150 acres of uninhabitable swampland.
Yes!
With its amazing four-wheel drive capabilities, Jeep Grand Cherokee can make even the most unappealing terrain a lot more desirable.
Check it out.
To everyone who said I wasn't old enough. To everyone who said I wasn't good enough. To everyone out there who ever booed me. I've got one thing to say.
Oh, yeah. Right here.
Thanks. What's my thirst? Proving them wrong. What's yours?
Listerine Pocket Pack strips have the power to destroy germs. The power to crush germs. And the power to eliminate over 99% of germs on contact. Because when you kill the germs, you get an incredible clean mouth feeling. Cool Mint Listerine Pocket Packs. Kill the germs. Feel the clean.
Mavericks have a 28-23 lead on the Kings. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. We've been talking about the struggles of the Sacramento guards tonight. Over the first 6 games of this series, Dallas's backcourt has come up very strong. Steve Nash and shade over 19 per game. Nick Van Exel has been one of the heroes
of the series. On the other hand, Mike Bibby has had his problems. He shot only 39% over the first 6 games. Bobby Jackson, though, has played well, as has Doug Christie as of late.
I would think that Don Nelson would be extremely happy with the play of his backcourt. And as he described it to us prior to the game, there you see 1 for 13 from that Sacramento backcourt. As he described to us prior to the game, that big backcourt of the Kings. Kind of like saying that he has little tiny guards out there that could have a very difficult time playing against those big bad guys.
And I love the way he explains things to you, Jeff.
It's like I'm not even there when we're meeting with these coaches.
Right.
Many times you're not.
Let's go to Craig Sager. Quickly.
Omar, more on that disappointing trend by Mike Bibby. Remember a year ago in this series against Dallas, he was the difference, averaging 22 points a game. He is definitely in what he even admits is a scoring slump after Game 6, in which he was just 4 points on 2 for 7. He went to the gym, shot until 1:30 in the morning. He said he's worried about the follow-through. He has lost confidence, and again today, 0 for 5.
Doug Christie making contact. Crowd wanted a foul. Here's Vlade Divac, who just checked back in. Little scoop shot attempted. Just getting back to Craig's point, and that sometimes hurt a player who is in a slump.
I think it can. I think sometimes you can worry so much about your shot that you forget to do other things. Mike Bibby has an all-around offensive game. I don't think you should be over-analyzing a shot at this point of the year. Come out and shoot with confidence.
Christie, the chip missed by Divac. And Exel sets it up. Don Nelson going with both LaFrentz and Bradley. Van Exel slips his way through and is able to hit. Nick Van Exel slithering his way and somehow banks it home.
Well, Christie did a good job initially out by the three-point line of guarding it, but then he opened up his angle and it gave him a clear pass to the basket.
Jackson challenged Bradley, and he drew the foul.
And Marv, one of the reasons why Sacramento is shooting 24% from the floor is the presence of Sean Bradley. They're going to the basket right now, and he is there to alter and block, and he's done it very well so far.
Mike Bibby has checked back in as we look at Jim Jackson, who had a terrific game against his former team Thursday night. 16 points, 12 rebounds. Jim Jackson began his career with Dallas 10 years ago. Remember that one season he averaged just under 26 per game. In fact, in 94, 95, Jim Jackson, Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn, a combination that did not work out despite all the talent.
Jim Jackson has certainly taken advantage of his opportunities this year. This is the best overall season maybe I think he's had in his career. Coming and really been a big help.
Michael Finley from downtown. What you're saying is all-around game, because he had that 25-point game, but he's just firing away on a team that was not particularly good. Divac draws the foul. He was tripped up. Mavericks looking for a traveling violation, but the foul is called on Bradley.
Yeah, and I'm talking about a complete play, but let me show you a second. Vlade back in the low post there, and he's the problem down there versus Bradley. He was trying to get it up there just at the last second. But going back to Jackson, it's his defense, it's his toughness, it's the maturity in the locker room. Last game, 7 offensive rebounds, 12 rebounds overall, while still scoring 16 points. So he's really had a great year for Miami when he was with Miami down there, and has had maybe even a better one for Sacramento this year.
The Kings are now 6 of 8 at the line. Vlade Divac, only a 71% free throw shooter during the regular season. Dallas up by 9, 5 minutes. Gone by in the second. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy on the sideline. Craig Sager, Cheryl Miller. Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinal series. The winner here will advance for the Western Conference Final and face the San Antonio Spurs. Keelan Clark came from the weak side, came up with a block, but it was last touched by the Kings.
Again, I like how Mike Bibby's defending tonight. He's keeping people in front of him. There, Keelan Clark came over and gave great support at the end. Bibby's really struggled on offense, but you have to give him credit for his individual defense.
Clark sits down, replaced by Stojaković. Bradley, with the shot clock running down, had to release it, and the ball back to Sacramento.
Regardless of how good your defense is, you cannot continue as a team to shoot 24% and expect to win a Game 7, particularly against a team that puts points on the board as easily as Dallas does.
The Kings just 8 for 33 from the field. Dirk Nowitzki getting set to check back in. Evans had to give it up. Stojaković for 3. Bradley with the rebound. Sean Bradley continues to play well at the defensive end. Here's Van Exel. Yes. That's that medium-range shot that Don Nelson was talking about earlier tonight that people do not expect.
They give him that screen out high, and then when he turns that corner, he uses just one more dribble and then floats on in to take that jumper.
And Bibby finally knocks one down.
And that's a great adjustment by Sacramento. Instead of Divac being in the low post, bring Bradley's size out of the lane with the pick and roll, and it opened it up for Bibby.
Van Exel for 3. 10 points for Van Exel. 39-27 Mavericks. And a timeout called by the Kings.
Remember, this is a guy, Van Exel, who wants to come off the bench. He told Don Nelson that he doesn't want to start. He took the pressure off of Nelson in training camp, said, bring me off the bench, start Nash. What a relief for a head coach to have somebody say that.
Why do they do that? Don't they see that their friends are getting zapped?
I don't know. They must be stupid.
Oh.
That was stupid. Introducing Mountain Dew Livewire. Discover what the attraction is all about.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents a new documentary series, Ultimate Fighter. The first show in this series is a look inside Team Miletich. See how training and fighting legend Pat Miletich breeds world champion fighters.
We're serious about what we do here. We've got great work ethic. We definitely don't like to lose.
Ultimate Fighter, Team Miletich, premieres May 16th on pay-per-view.
Of the NBA playoffs is on TNT with over 40 games in 40 nights. TNT is your exclusive home for the Western Conference Finals. The drama of the NBA playoffs is on TNT.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there. And Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Millertown.
Nature selects you to be a cold-blooded killer, and that is what you are. Alec Baldwin.
What did they tell you?
Second Nature. See the world premiere Sunday, June 22nd at 8, only on TNT.
A lot of guys have stepped up, but nobody bigger than Nick. He has the ability to make the in-between shot, a shot that kind of surprises him. Not many guys can make that shot. Usually they'll either go all the way to the basket or shoot some different shot. And Nick has all these little floaters. He kisses things off the glass, and when he's unstoppable.
Don Nelson talking about what he calls that in-between shot. Nick Van Exel among the postseason all-time leaders in scoring off the bench, including the 40-point game earlier this
series. Thurl barely leading the way at better than 28 per game. Bibby, so that's 2 straight for Bibby after he missed his first 5 shots, and Dallas leads by 10. We come up to 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Bad pass. Jackson is on it. Bibby with the ball fake and draws the foul. Nice play by Bibby. He's hit by Van Exel.
And on the play before, again, Devot stepped out and set the pick and roll. Bradley's not an effective pick and roll defender. Bibby got the layup, then he got the deflection, which led to his 2 free throw attempts right here. So he started to get on track, and it started at the defensive end of the floor.
You can log on to NBA.com or America keyword NBA.com for the exclusive 2003 playoff section featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. Nash trying to lose Bibby off the screen. Nash battling his way to get to that baseline. There's Bradley. Rebounded by Bobby Jackson.
Good job again defensively by Bibby.
There's Jim Jackson for 3. 7-0 for Sacramento. And they are within 5. Dallas has led by as many as 12. Bradley went down. Nowitzki rejected by Stojaković. Stojaković with the lead. Bibby right back. Stojaković able to finish.
It's interesting what you get a defensive start, couple turnovers forced by aggressive defense. Suddenly you get 1 or 2 shots to fall. The belief comes back. The spirit and energy returns.
A 9-0 run for the Kings. They are now within 3.
Numbers, the purple jerseys outnumber the white jerseys right down the middle of the floor. Pages Stojaković with the finish.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created a simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to LA is red. Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue. Chicago to Seattle, yellow. LA to Austin, canary yellow. Orlando to Albuquerque, teal. Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine. Buffalo to Phoenix, beige umber. San Jose to Baltimore, pistachio. Oakland to Chicago, sea green. Albany to Orlando, puce. Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish. New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Less filling!
Wait. What about this? Doesn't Miller Lite taste great?
Great taste! Great taste! Less filling! Great taste! Less filling! Less filling!
What do you think about that? That's art.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got an idea.
On May 30th.
You getting anything there, Chatty?
No, nothing. All the stories you heard around the campfire.
Hello? Anyone up there?
Keep moving.
Hey guys, hold up!
Are coming true. Wrong Turn. Rated R.
We're all gonna die.
May 30th, only in theaters.
Name, Dollar.
His office is a barroom brawl. His business is to end it. Patrick Swayze, Kelly Lynch, Roadhouse. Tomorrow night at 8 on TNT.
The new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Parcells, at courtside here in Dallas. Another one of my former broadcast partners.
A lot of guys
gone on.
A lot of guys have run away from you, I tell you.
The Sacramento Kings have been on the run. 7 of the Last 9 points have been on the fast break, and it's Stojaković leading the way with 12 in all.
Well, he started off early from the corner with that big three, and then shows that he can put it on the floor or shoot over the top of much smaller defenders, and he finds a way of coming up with an easy basket every now and then. That's by running hard, getting the pass from his teammate, and finishing.
Dallas's lead down to 3. They've led by as many as 12. We come up on 4 minutes to go in this first half of Game 7. Finley wanted a pick. Now Finley with the step. Good recovery defensively by Jim Jackson.
They want to get Page down the low post area. Instead, he suddenly steps out with a quick pick and roll.
And here is Jim Jackson. 8 points for the one-time Maverick. Sacramento started out 8 to 34. They've hit their last 5 shots. They are within 1. Rafe LaFrette and Steve Nash. Nash able to keep that dribble alive, and that is off the leg of Bibby.
Very active Sacramento defense, getting deflections, stepping in for steals, making sure that there are clean looks for Dallas.
Now to 3 on the 24. Van Exel. Devon with the box out. And Sacramento can take the lead. Now Devon being played by LaFrette. Here is Jim Jackson again.
And again, what's happening right there is Nowitzki's matched up with Jackson. He's helping on the touch. Jackson is a perimeter shooter, thus he's open.
13 unanswered by the Kings. Nash the 3. Van Exel with the rebound. Bobby Jackson got it from behind. 3 on 2. Bibby for Jackson. Jim Jackson from Bobby Jackson. And the Kings continue to roll. 15 great points for Sacramento. We're down to 2:20 remaining in the first half. The Kings now lead by 3. Van Exel for 3. Yes! And the game is tied at 42.
You know, Mark, sometimes coaches have to make tough decisions. Doug Christie, who has been playing pretty well in this series, goes 0 for 5. The coach sits him down. Jimmy Jackson was on the floor. 5 for 6, 12 points. Good coaching move because things have worked out that way for Sacramento.
Here's Bobby Jackson. LaFrette's got a piece of it, then lost it. Jim Jackson with the steal.
And I'll tell you what I think Rick Adelman's got to do to start the second half is start Jimmy Jackson instead of Hedo Turkoglu. Get your best team on the floor in the last 24 minutes.
Devon draws the foul. It is on LaFrette.
He never tried to shoot that ball, Mark. The entire intent of Roddy that time was to draw contact, get to the free throw line, put in the foul on Rafe LaFrette. You'll see at the end, he likes to scoop underneath every now and then, but there's no hook shot coming here. He's going under the arms to draw the contact.
That's number 3 on LaFrette. Roddy Devon to bounce back with a strong game. Thursday night, 21 points. After the foul trouble, kept him to 13 minutes of play in Game 5. Now Walt Williams, one-time Sacramento King, has come on for Rafe LaFrette.
And this is going to be interesting. Who does Divac guard? They don't want him on Nowitzki. Do you put him on Roger Bell? Do you put him on Walt Williams like they did late in that one game where he got the open 3? This is a tough matchup for Divac.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
I'm substituting for Roddy right now. Give him a minute and a half rest and get him out of this game.
It's a 16-3 spurt by the Kings. Nowitzki. That was a tough shot by Dirk Nowitzki, who was feeling the physical presence of a couple of Sacramento Kings players. 44-43, Dallas up by 1. We're approaching 1 minute remaining of the half. Shot clock down to 5. Jim Jackson off the dribble, working on Walt Williams. Gave it up. Bobby Jackson
And it's a 24-second violation. Johnson did not make contact with the rim. They wanted to take advantage of Divac being played by Nowitzki. What Nowitzki did is he fronted him. So they couldn't lob over the top. As a result, the whole play broke down. And that's the first Sacramento turnover. The second quarter. Here's Doug Christie. Checking back. Coming on for Bloody Divac.
Yeah, it was a good time to get him out of the game. There's a minute and a half to go. Like you said, Jeff, a bad matchup for Bloody. So take him out right now. Don't let him pick up a foul. Don't give up any easy scores.
Nash. And Bibby is on it. Mike Bibby working his way. He challenged Nowitzki. And Exel for Williams. Walt Williams with a gorgeous fake. It appeared that he was about to pass it into the corner.
Well, see what happened when Bibby went down before and took that quick shot. It let actually Dallas wind up in a 2-for-1 situation instead of Sacramento getting the 2-for-1. He went a little bit too early, but he thought he had a wide open look at the rim.
Here's Stojaković. And that's over the top of the backboard. With the ball back to the Mavs.
This will be shot one. Walt Williams going to the basket in this 2-for-1 situation. Fake a little hello pass. Hello, but I'm keeping it myself and lay it up. And now this next one for Dallas will be shot number 2 ending the second quarter.
Final seconds of the quarter. Nowitzki working on Stojaković. Nowitzki rebounded, put home by Van Exel with 2/10 of a second remaining. Halftime in Dallas. The Mavericks able to withstand the Sacramento run, and they lead 48-43. Once again, Nick Van Exel off the bench to play a major role. 15 points for Van Exel, 13 in the second quarter. Let's go to Cheryl with Nick.
Nick, once again, you provided such a spark off the bench. Talk a little bit about your defense. You guys were so active, aggressive, a lot of deflection. You took them out of the rhythm. How were they able to get back into the game?
Well, first of all, our defense was, we knew that they would go to one side, then swing it, then attack us with the penetration. So we were prepared for that. So we covered that a lot better. But the way they got back into the game, we didn't take care of the ball. They held us to one shot, and they did what they do best, and they got on transition and got easy baskets.
Much like games since Jimmy Jackson off the bench, a huge spark. How do you slow them down, and can you close these guys out in the second half?
We have to. I think our defense will be turned up a little bit better, and that'll be in our favor. But somehow we got to get to Jimmy. He's been aggressive the whole series. We got to try to keep him off the board.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Send it back to you, Marv.
Thank you, Cheryl. 15 apiece for Van Exel and Nowitzki. Stojaković with 12. Jim Jackson with 12. So the Mavericks with a 5-point lead here at the half in Game 7. Now to our studio in Atlanta. Let's go to Ernie.
Thank you very much, Marv. It is the Verizon Wireless halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley, Dan Marley is in the studio tonight, and the Dallas Mavericks are now 24 minutes away from setting up the first all-Texas Western Conference final since 1995. Back then it was the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets. Kenny, do you remember that series?
Oh, this is the one-hand layup on. Oh, did I? Oh, I got it.
Wow.
They had a block party. That's David Robinson. He led the league in blocks.
Yeah, whatever. That's just from the boys upstairs.
But they didn't come out with the win, though.
Can you think of which guy upstairs might
I would say that was one of the knuckleheads, the idiotic Tom Height.
the guy that you tortured on the air the other night. Okay. Anyway, it's a 5-point game, 48-43, the Mavs with the lead. What has the first 24 minutes taught us?
Besides Tom Height's an idiot? Oh, I'm sorry. I digress. No, you know what? I would be really worried if I was Sacramento. I mean, San Antonio. Not San Antonio.
One of those two.
Dallas. I would be really worried.
You look so funny.
I'll be really worried because Sacramento, they get good shots. And not just good shots, really good shots. And they can get them anytime they want. Right here, you got 1, 2, 3 seconds to let that shot go. It doesn't go down. You get in the post. You say, okay, I'll take 1, 2, 3 dribbles. No one comes. I miss. So then I get to tip it. I miss that. But see, Jim Jackson came in and said, we're not going to miss these all day. Somebody's going to make these 3-second steal the seam shots. They're going to start going in. I would be worried if I was Dallas because those shots are going to eventually go in, and you will lose that game. And Mike Bibby has to have more than 15 points for them to win, too.
A lot of open looks for Jim Jackson. In fact, before the game, Nick Van Exel said you got to get physical on that guy because he's been lifting weights since he was 6 years old. Tonight, he's, 5 out of 6 from the floor for 12 points.
Well, it's probably a big game for him because you always hate your old team. You know, I always say you always hate your ex-wife.
Well, he hates a lot of people. He's got like
most of the league.
He's got like 11 teams, right?
To me, when Sacramento made their run, they sped up the tempo of the game. They can't score because Vlade, you know, Mike Vitello or Jeff, one of them said something. Well, he looks to pass out of the double team. He's not looking to score. Sean Bradley's driving nuts. The only time they made that little spurt when they speeded up the game. And they got to do that. They can't win. I don't like their team in a half-court set. And for some reason, the game is low score. I think that has more to do with pressure and guys are a little timid out there. But they got to speed the game up. But the one thing we said before, if it's close, I like Sacramento. Dallas has to blow them out. I don't think they can win a close game. I like Sac in a close game.
You were courtside for one of the games in this series. Your impressions of the first 24?
I agree with Suck. I think they got to blow them out. I think if they continue to get the crowd in the game, Dallas got a better chance. But it'll come down to the last couple of minutes, and Sacramento has a chance to win. And that's the one thing you don't want to happen in Game 7. I've been there several times, especially with Miami and New York. If it gets down to the last couple seconds, anything can happen.
It is 48-43. Dallas has the lead. The Mavs getting 15 from Van Exel, 15 from Nowitzki. Peja has 12, and so does Jim Jackson for Sacramento. The winner of this game gets the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. Here's a little total motion from Dirk.
We told you that don't work.
That wasn't good.
That wasn't good.
Oh, my bad.
The halftime report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Encourage a lifelong love of reading. Read to achieve.
Tradition.
A look on the other guy's face. To be my own Manning.
Being a woman.
Kozlowski. I couldn't.
Millions of little girls.
Every athlete is fueled by something.
Hey, nice car.
ZipZap has mutated into the new Mazda RX-8 X-Men car, only at Radio Shack. Cool micro RCs with holofoil trading cards, plus other cool accessories from the movie X2, only in theaters.
You can get your hands on them all.
X2 ZipZaps and accessories come as shown, each sold separately. Batteries not included, some assembly required. From Radio Shack.
To my oldest son, I leave the chateau on the French Riviera. To my only daughter, the Manhattan penthouse. To my youngest son, I bequeath 150 acres of uninhabitable swampland.
Yes!
With its amazing four-wheel drive capabilities, Jeep Grand Cherokee can make even the most unappealing terrain a lot more desirable.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, intend to listen.
One tool rack, 36 tools. Get the tool tower from Rubbermaid. What can a Tyrannosaurus Rex teach us about a retirement plan? What's big one day may disappear the next. At Wachovia Securities, we learn from the world around us and provide financial advice for those who need to rebuild. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
Your home, your ideas, and the freedom to express them. At Lowe's, we make it easy. Introducing the new Pergo Signature line, only at Lowe's. Laminate flooring has never looked and felt so much like real wood. Lowe's stocks more laminate floors like Pergo and Armstrong than anybody else. And at Lowe's, we have low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 6 months on flooring purchases of $2.99 or more.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. Exclusively on TNT, it's the Western Conference Finals, start to finish, beginning on Monday in San Antonio. We're going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Don't know yet where we're going to be on Friday and Sunday, but those are the first 4 games of the Western Conference Finals.
Want me to tell you?
No. Hey, anyway, what's better than watching TV? Not much. Ask Greg Popovich.
Watch the game. Enjoy it. You know, and not care who wins or loses. And that's fun. We don't get to do that very often, so we can just watch it, and at that point we'll know a little bit more about what's going on. You know, we've obviously prepared already for both to some degree, but none of the finishing touches, so tonight will be enjoyable to sit down and just watch.
Dan, how big an advantage is that for Greg Popovich and the Spurs? It'll be 3 off days before they begin that series. You can look at both possibilities. Meantime, these guys are knocking the bark off each other just trying to get to San Antonio.
Yeah, I think it's a big difference because they get the rest. And the biggest thing about San Antonio, I think, is they're a good road team. They can go out on the road and win. They can take care of their home floor. They're not afraid to go out on the road. Wherever they play, they got the confidence they can go out and play and win.
Tim Duncan in the clincher against the Lakers. Can you put that into words?
You know, that was the best performance I've seen in a long time when a guy would not let his team lose. It reminded me like a Michael Jordan in his prime, no matter how well the other team. And he started from the first quarter. The game, to me, was over after the first quarter because they had the Lakers going back on their heels. And then he got his team off to a good start. That's what I think superstars have to do in pressure situations because those other guys are scared to death. But the superstars, he made sure they were not going to lose that game. He got Robert Horry out the game, then that put Shaq on, then he got Shaq in foul trouble. Then it was over after that.
Are the Lakers the toughest team the Spurs will face?
No. I think, you know, everyone's counting out the Eastern Conference because, you know, New Jersey, if they get to the finals, I think they'll be able to play them pretty well as well. And these two teams, Sacramento has, without Chris Webber, still have 6 guys on that team that can get 20 points or more. With Jim Jackson being the 6th guy now, because I had 5 before the game started, but now the way he's playing, now I got 6 guys on that team and get 20. And we know Dallas has 4. If Dallas or Sacramento wins more than 1 game, they should throw them a parade. Spurs going to murder whoever they play. If they win more than 1 game, it'd be a miracle.
Something tells me we're going to be playing that tape back at some point during the Western Conference Finals. When we come back, I see they put the lights on in the other part of the studio. We're going to the rack.
The rack! Dan Marley at the rack!
There's thunder in the forecast.
TNT, the exclusive home of the 2003 Western Conference Finals.
Why do I work so hard? So I can play even harder. What's my thirst? Staying on top. What's yours? I love my job.
You see an energy crisis crippling a city. At Franklin Templeton Investments, we saw a chance to uncover value in a troubled utility through the hands-on approach of our Mutual Series fund managers. Generating returns for shareholders in situations like this requires a unique perspective, the kind that has made Mutual Series a leader in value investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Would you like to own your own business and enjoy financial independence? Nationwide Cyber Systems introduces the most exciting business opportunity of the 21st century, public access internet terminals. These amazing machines offer high-speed internet access, email, and video email to the public for only 25 cents per minute. They take cash and credit cards. Bill Gates says in any area where there's payphones, you'll start to find public internet terminals. Forecasters predict that 300,000 of these machines will be in service throughout the U.S. by 2005. How many would you like to own? Nationwide can start you in a turnkey business and help you secure the most profitable locations in your area before someone else gets them. You can start part-time and expand according to your own timetable. Call now for your free video and information package. There is unlimited income potential. Don't delay. The best locations won't last long.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use or dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Charles, I can't believe you put up a 3. I mean, 3 pounds I can see you gain when you eat a meal. You know, asking for a 3 when you got 18 blackjack, I can see that. But what's the deal? Marky Mark intimidated you and you couldn't get by his 3? Charles, what's this world coming to? Now, Kenny, I can see a 3. I'm disappointed, Chuck. Really disappointed. Go Mavs.
It's Mark Cuban among those watching when Charles the other end actually put up a 4.
He started jumping. Look. He started jumping at the end, man. He got nervous. He got a tight sphincter at the end. A tight sphincter.
And in disgust slams the ball down. Just for the record, Mark Wahlberg with a 3, Charles with a 4. Troy Hudson, Dominique Wilkins, Mario Ellie all have 21 and now.
You know, that's the first time I touched a basketball in like 3 years now.
Good. That's a good excuse. At any rate, Dan Marley is up now.
This is rust I got.
Dan Marley is up. I'm going to give you a 3-2-1 go, so you let me know when you're ready. Are you ready?
KJ.
I'm ready. Yeah, KJ's ready. Are we ready?
You ready, KJ? All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, my goodness. He's on fire. Don't worry about that one. He's on fire, KJ. I don't think he's going to catch Daddy, though. I don't think he's going to catch him. He never shot well against the Hawks. That's what I heard. He doesn't shoot well in Atlanta.
Uh-oh, he's shooting well now, Chip.
I don't know.
You got 5 seconds to go.
I don't know. There you go. I don't know. I don't think I'm still in there.
It's a 15.
15. I'll take 15.
After an incredible start.
I got the Chuckster, though.
Yeah, you got the Chuckster. In fact, you move into 6th place ahead of Dennis Johnson.
I want to see it again one time.
Maybe when we take it on the road, you can do it in front of like 20,000 people at one of the arenas.
On the road.
Okay, then you've already shot and you have a 4. That is Dan Marley's effort.
KJ, you can take a shot.
Come on, KJ.
Hit it off his Charles's head, though. Hit it off his head.
Yeah, there you go. Got it off his
backboard. Hit the backboard, you get 3. You get 3 for the backboard. You get 3. There you go. That's 5 right there. 2 in a row.
Keep hitting him. Keep hitting him,
KJ. You know the good thing about that, in about 3 years, he'll be already surpassed his dad. Oh, yes. We got 3 out of 4. We're shooting it right now. Make one for the road, baby. Make one down, baby. Oh, there you go. I'm going to block the next one, though. I'm going to block the next one. No, not like Murphy. No more.
The halftime report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Whoever's playing on the offensive end, oh, what?
Woo, look at that MVP move! MVP? Come on, player. The real MVP just landed home.
Now, Verizon Wireless lets you help choose the NBA Finals 2003 MVP. Just text MVP to the number 622 to participate. Then, during a deciding game of the finals, you'll be sent a ballot. Look for your favorite player. Because every night you vote, you're entered in our sweepstakes for a chance to win a high-definition TV and wireless phone. So text MVP to the number 622 now to get started.
Can you hear me now?
Good. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
And there's more efficient use of space.
Great.
Just talked to the guy at Office Depot. Everything's going to be fine.
Terrific.
Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized.
Look good.
Office Depot. What you need to know.
Are you a real fan? Want to go to the playoffs? Who's going to win it all? Looking for some playoff gear? Having fun yet? Need a score? Want the inside scoop? Then log on to NBA.com and be a part of the 2003 NBA playoffs. For polls and chats, log on to NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com.
NBA.com, right?
Experience the NBA online. NBA.com.
And the 7th game of this Western Conference semifinal series is for all or nothing as we come up on 8:30 here in Dallas, Texas, with the Mavericks leading the Kings 48-43 at halftime. Marv Albert, Jeff Van Gundy, the Czar, Mike Fratello. Czar, you mentioned at the start that the key for the Mavericks would be for Dirk Nowitzki to get back into it. He's had a very quiet series, and he did have a breakout first half.
Well, coming into the game, shooting only 41% in the first 6 games, taking only 15 shots per game in the first half, 7 for 11 field goal attempts from the floor, 15 points. And when you look, perhaps his coach, when he flew in, suggested that they run plays on the right side of the floor for him because a number of those makes come from the right or towards the sideline of the floor. He's on fire right now.
Jeff, Sacramento got off to the poor start. In fact, they had a very bad shooting first half, but down by as many as 12, they were able to battle their way back.
I just love how they hung in there. They shot 33%. Their guard shot 3 for 19. They were out-rebounded by 2, but they defended. They got to the free throw line, kept the Mavericks up the free throw line, and didn't turn it over. That's the recipe they need to play with. Hang in there, win it at the end.
Now let's take a look at the Jeep game summary. Mavericks 21 of 46, just under 46% for the half. And the Kings 15 of 45, 33%. Picked it up at the end of the second quarter. Dallas at 4 of 8 from downtown. Mavericks not getting to the foul line here at home, just 2 of 4, while Sacramento 10 to 13 at the line. Let's check it with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Sacramento's strength against Dallas, of course, is in the middle of the paint. But Dallas's defense is sagging in. Rick Edelman said, guys, we have to move the ball on the perimeter. Also, the tempo. He doesn't want in a running game with them, but he thought defensively they were able to cause a few turnovers. And in that case, he thinks the transition game of Sacramento could be a difference as well. Daryl?
That's right, Coach Nelson said, hey, I like the game plan that we prepared. Offensively, we were attacking the basket. We were being aggressive. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to get to the free throw line. Now, at the defensive end, he says we were aggressive. We just had that momentary lapse on Jimmy Jackson, who knocked down 12 points. But he said, as long as we tighten up our defense in the next 24 minutes, I like our chances. Mark?
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Mike Bibby very much back into it. That's his 3rd field goal. He has 8 points. So the Mavericks now lead 48-45, and Bibby with a good play to knock it out of bounds.
Interesting that Sacramento said they are concerned about fast break opportunities, yet they're up 13-5 in fast break points.
Dirk Nowitzki up front with Ray LaFrance, Roger Bell, Michael Finley, and Steve Nash at the guard. It's boxed out by Stojaković. While the Kings open up with Bibby and Christie in the backcourt. Divac, Stojaković, and Turkoglu on the front line. Nice lead pass for Divac. Cannot finish. Rebounded by LaFrance.
And he's just really struggled to finish good attempts around the basket.
Here's Finley. Ripping by Stojaković. Michael Finley beating Pedro Stojaković off the dribble. Dallas leads by 5. Divac backing his way on LaFrance. Beautiful move by Vlade Divac.
Not to put too much pressure on Vlade, but if there was something more disappointing than the guard shooting in the first half for Sacramento, it was the performance of Vlade. Just 1 for 5 from the floor. He has to come up with a big second half if they have to win this game.
Nowitzki for 3. That is his first from downtown. 18 points for Dirk Nowitzki.
Rick Edelman has a lot more patience with Hedo Turkoglu than I would. You cannot lose Dirk Nowitzki.
Hedo Turkoglu started the game, played 8 minutes, and then sat. But he has started here in the second half. We'll see how long that remains. Here's Stojaković. Pedro Stojaković with 14 points. And LaFrance beats the Kings down court. Good hustle by Ray LaFrance. Kings are very upset with themselves. You can see the reaction on the part of Stojaković.
Well, someone has to cover the backcourt. If there's a man going to the basket, then his teammate must cover for him going back. Right there, you'll see all of a sudden, as they change sides of the floor, Hagen never realized that Ray LaFrance has run out behind Vlade. Hagen went to the other side to pick up his man. He needed to see the ball, see what's coming back at him.
Dallas by 6. Divac again takes it right at LaFrance.
And by playing inside out, it slows the tempo down to a more manageable number of possessions.
Mavericks turn it over. Ball back to Sacramento. Don Nelson's Mavericks seeking to reach the Western Finals for the first time since back in 1988. And only the second time in the history of the franchise. The Kings got there last season in that thrilling series against the Los Angeles Lakers. Led the Lakers 3 games to 2, and the Lakers took the next 2, including Game 7 in Sacramento. Divac rebounded by Nowitzki. Nash pushing it down. Now Nash met by Turkoglu on the switch. Nash to the left hand, and Nash able to score. Mavericks 57, Kings 51. Nash falling down, so Bibby had the open shot. Bibby now 3 for 10. And the foul on Turkoglu, back on his way. Trying to find his way through the screen set by Nowitzki. Second foul on Turkoglu. Finley checked the clock. Down to 6 on the 24. And a loose ball foul as LaFrance came over the back.
Maybe LaFrance felt he jumps much higher than he really does. I don't know what his intentions were on this one, or the ball just didn't bounce the way he thought. But I think this is maybe the easiest call of the evening for the officials. Over the back.
Number 4 on Rafe LaFrance, so we will see Sean Bradley in a moment. Bibby off a beautiful whip pass from Christie. Mavericks up by 4. Here's Nash. Bell, yes. Roger Bell with 8 points.
And you've got to give Bell a lot of credit. Sacramento wants one guy shoot the ball on the floor, and that's Bell, and he's responded when he's open.
Beautiful pass from Christie, but Stojaković blocked by Finley. Finley went down trying to draw the foul. Divac rejected by LaFrance. Finley setting it up. Nowitzki backing Turkoglu. Nash with a running hook.
We've seen Steve Nash finish 2 plays in a row using the left hand. One off the backboard, that one a little sweeping hook shot.
The Mavericks up by 8. Sacramento calls for time.
And here the Mavericks did a great job swarming Vlade Divac and blocking the shot. Here, Nash drives it to the middle and hits a tough, running left-hand hook shot. Very nice move.
Okay, folks, let's get this party started. Call Seattle. Get McGregor on the phone.
Calling him now.
Morning. Morning.
This is Scott McGregor. I'll be out of the office all day. Please leave a message.
That's not like McGregor.
McGregor's not there? Great.
Excuse me, there's a Mr. McGregor here to see you.
With Southwest Airlines last-minute fares, you'll never pay more than $2.99 one way. So why would you fly with anyone else?
You are now free to move about the country.
Rated PG-13 at theaters June 20th.
NBA TV presents NBA action in high definition. Experience NBA basketball like never before. It's so real you can touch it. Now, NBA TV comes to you in state-of-the-art high definition. You'll have to see it to believe it. Watch the world's greatest athletes, larger than life. NBA TV in high definition. Now available daily on DirecTV and Dish Network. It's fantastic.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. And the Hulk. On June 20th, experience the incredible. Saturday night on TNT. Defending the law has never been this dramatic.
You find it. Here's where it is, right here.
We beat them down. See Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys. Next Saturday night at 8 on TNT.
Gives me a rush.
Welcome back with the Mavericks leading 61-53. We're going to show you how Dirk Nowitzki got his first clean three-point look. This is Hedo Turkoglu playing defense up on top right now. He is guarding Dirk Nowitzki. As they start to run their offense, they throw the ball to Finley, who's going to try and back down and draw the defense to the inside. Turkoglu on the outside. Right there you see Turkoglu facing the ball, and he's going to bite. But when he bites and sinks in, Nowitzki automatically moves away to an open spot. That allows the cross-court skip pass just a little bit too long for the recovery for Hedo and the first three-point shot and make for Dirk.
Nick Van Exel has checked in for the Mavericks. 15 points in 16 minutes in the first half for Van Exel. Divac pass tipped away by Nash. It will be Sacramento ball with 11 on the 24th. 5 minutes gone by in the third quarter, and the Mavericks lead by 8. Here's Divac putting the move on Bradley, and again draws the foul.
He knew he couldn't get the shot up over the top of Bradley, so he started to fake the hook and then came down underneath, similar to the move we saw him use earlier, and just pick up the 2 free throw attempts.
That's 3 on Bradley. LaFrentz sitting down after picking up a 4th. Divac to the line. He's 2 of 4 at the line. The Mavericks game 1 of the Western Conference Finals on TNT exclusively on Monday night, with this evening's winner going up against the San Antonio Spurs, who knocked off the 3-time defending champion Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage starting 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday. Game 2 on TNT Wednesday at 9. The Eastern Conference Final starts tomorrow on ABC at 1. The Nets and the Pistons. Game 2 is Tuesday on ESPN. Van Exel for 3. Rebounded by Stojaković.
I know I've said it a lot, but Mike Bibby has dug in defensively and taken the challenge to play better one-on-one defense.
Little stole the ball move here by Divac, and then goes to the hook. Rebounded by Nowitzki.
But he just pulled up short. He never followed through all the way because of the size of Bradley, and therefore hit the front of the rim instead of getting up over the top of the rim.
John Bradley is 7'6". Nowitzki puts the move on Turkoglu, and that's good.
Vlade Divac, Jeff, was right there. Opportunity to go up and challenge and block the shot. He never left the ground.
Mavericks lead by 9. Just under 6 remaining in the third. Turkoglu's been very quiet. That counts and a foul. Hedo Turkoglu with only his second field goal, and now headed to the line. The foul on Nowitzki. That's his third.
This may come just in time for Turkoglu because Jimmy Jackson is reporting to the table to take him out. He'll have to wait. Meanwhile, down at the other end, Nowitzki backing down Turkoglu as far as he can. Then he uses the up and under move and finishes with the left hand.
Turkoglu completing a 3-point play, so the Mavs now lead by 6. Kings have that 15-0 run in the second quarter to get back into the ball game. They were down by as many as 12. Finley rebounded by Turkoglu. Bibby setting the offense. Turgaloo. Bibby for three. Way short. Nowitzki releases. Nash did a good job to catch that pass that was off the mark.
Bibby didn't even seem like he was ready to shoot that one.
Now wants Nowitzki to go at Stojaković to clear it out. And a foul. Oh, look out. Nowitzki in the face of Divac. Well, actually, looked like he was hit by Stojaković. It is Stojaković who picks up a second foul.
Nowitzki goes by Stojaković too easily. Then at the end, as Lottie comes down, perhaps his arms, elbows, whatever, hit Dirk at the end after the play. That's why I think he hit something to say.
Non-shooting foul. Nash jumps it off. Here's Bradley. Will not count. Foul before the shot attempt on Jim Jackson. Jim Jackson has replaced Turgaloo. Now Roger Bell will check back in. Comes on for Steve Nash. Nash with 9 points, 8 assists.
Not a bad luxury. Okay, Nash, sit down for a second. We're going to replace you with the guy who's averaging 26 points a game off the bench.
Good play by Stojaković, recovered by Nowitzki. Shot clock down to 2. Finley had that shot deflected short, and it's a shot clock violation.
And I really like how Stojaković, when he's gotten on Nowitzki's guard, he's up and into him, he's taking away his airspace, and he's not letting him play with the ball. He's pushing at it constantly. There he got a nice deflection.
Sacramento within 6 points. Jim Jackson for 3. Jim Jackson, who came up with a terrific game the other night in Sacramento. Roger Bell. And again, the Kings did not react, getting down court.
If you want to win, you get back in transition, particularly after made basket. That's the second time so far that they've given up layup after basket.
Oh, Nowitzki was pulled down by Divac. Dirk Nowitzki glaring at Ronnie Divac. It's only his first foul.
You'll see the scramble inside. Bradley's got Divac. Divac has Nowitzki. Nowitzki goes down. Divac with the foul. So you can see Sean Bradley locking up Divac's right arm.
That could have been a variation on the double foul, a triple foul. Bradley fouls Divac. Divac fouls Nowitzki, and they all fall down.
Well, I'd love to hear you on that one. There's Bradley. Oh, Sean Bradley with a soft running hook. That's his first bucket. Average 67, Kings 60. Nice move by Bibby, and he draws the foul. Well, Bibby headed to the foul line. He'll shoot 2. Mike Bibby, the Kings hero of the postseason a year ago.
Last second, late drop off. That's a pretty good target to have. 7'6" guy that you can find rolls to the basket. Not bad.
And again, Bibby and Divac are taking advantage of Sean Bradley's poor pick and roll defense there. He split the trap, got all the way to the rim. They should keep running that high pick and roll instead of trying to post Bradley up.
12 points for Bibby. Counted by 5. Coming up on 3.5. Remaining in the third. Bell, once again, given a shot. Roger Bell with 12 points. It's similar to watching Bruce Bowen of San Antonio, noted for his defensive play, and he usually is given open shots and has been able to cash in. It's up Christie, air ball. Bibby with the save, and a loose ball foul. It's on the Kings.
Well, you mentioned Roger Bell cashing in. Well, Roger Bell happens to be one of Dallas's free agents at the end of this year. He's a $600,000 player right now. I'd say he's doing a pretty good job of auditioning either for his own owner or coaches or someone else's.
That foul on Christie, and Roger Bell had another outstanding game. Dirk Nowitzki to the line. Sacramento over the foul limit. Roger Bell spent 2 years with the 76ers, saw considerable action 2 years ago when they went to the finals. One of the 4 Mavericks free agents at the end of the season. Mavericks pretty locked in when you look at their star players.
And Dallas is adjusted to the zone to take away the pick and roll problem.
There's Bibby for 3. And you can see the confidence has returned for Mike Bibby, who has been very quiet this series. Comes off a 2 for 7 in 25 minutes the other night. From downtown this series, 6 of 22 prior to that shot. Bradley trying to give it back. And the ball goes to Sacramento. Last touch by Bradley. The first timeout with 2:27 remaining in the third. And the man up by 6.
You can see the difference in this corner shot by Bibby. He's set. He gets himself a good look at the basket. Very different from the shot that he rushed earlier from behind the three-point line.
The NBA Draft Lottery.
Lesson in footwork.
Watch Nowitzki back his man down. Watch his right foot when it gets to the blue paint. He's got to keep that one down so that he can use it up and under. 50 footwork by Dirk Nowitzki.
That excites you, huh?
It does.
On the subject of Dirk, let's go to Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Marvel. Actually, I'm joined by Holger Guischwinder, who is a longtime coach of Dirk Nowitzki, and Dirk is off to a great start. I know there's still a lot of time left in the game, but he seems to be playing with a lot more confidence.
Yeah, it looks like, and I hope we get 20 rebounds and more that Kings do not out-rebound us, and then we have a pretty good chance to win this game.
Did you give him any advice before the game?
Not especially, it's just to give him some more confidence. It's a very important game, and I hope he got it.
All right, enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Turn it back to you, Mark.
All right, Dirk with a physical rebound as the Mavericks move back to the offense. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Dallas with a 71-65 lead. Shot clock down to 7. Van Exel backing Bobby Jackson. Van Exel, the tip. Second field goal for Sean Bradley.
2 or 3 times we've seen Dallas come out of a timeout and go to some form of a jump defense, 2-3 zone, some type of trap. They're back in it again for the second time now after that timeout. And it's the second time they get the ball back again. No shot opportunities for Sacramento.
Now substitution being allowed. Steve Nash will come on. Sean Bradley will sit down. And Sean Bradley hears it from this crowd. He's done a good job defensively against Lottie Divas and has come up with a couple of field goals. Sacramento with only their second turnover in the last 24 minutes. Bradley also had 7 rebounds. And Exel looking to post up on Bibby. And Exel's shot blocked by Bibby.
And Dallas is making no mistake of who they're trying to attack all game, and that's Mike Bibby. And again, he came up with a very nice defensive play.
Stojaković for 3. Rebounded by Nowitzki. 17 rebounds for Nowitzki along with 22 points. Finley for 3. Rebounded by Bobby Jackson with 40 seconds left in the third. Stojaković offensive foul. That's 3 on Pedro.
When you hear somebody say he has quick feet, this is Bell. Quick feet getting to the spot where he anticipated that Pedro was going to try and drive the ball to, takes and absorbs the contact and goes down.
And that was a good call. You don't have to be totally set. He had established defensive position. Stojaković came in there, and that was an excellent play by Bell. As Mike said, quick feet, good anticipation.
Walt Williams Walt Williams has come up with some big buckets against his former team. He did it back in Game 3. 76-65. Dallas with the lead. 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's a three-point attempt by Bibby. Bibby on the recovery. Bibby, yes. Beautiful move by Bibby. 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Williams, after 3, here at American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Mavericks, 76. The Kings, 67. Dirk Nowitzki with 7 points in the third, 22 in all, along with 17 rebounds. We're headed to the fourth in the seventh and final game. The winner advances to the Western Conference Final Series.
The Home Depot is more than a store.
Coming up on 9 o'clock here in Dallas, Texas, as we welcome you back. It is on to the fourth quarter. Seventh and final game of the Western Conference semifinal series. The San Antonio Spurs waiting in the wings to look at how the Big Four has made out tonight. They have been led by Dirk Nowitzki. 22 and 17 for Dirk. Michael Finley, 3 of 9. Nick Van Exel has done his job coming off the bench. Steve Nash, 9 points, 9 assists. Once again, Roger Bell contributing with 12 points to add to the mix. Bell is 6 of 7. As Dallas has shot 49%. Sacramento has not shot well, just 24, 67, 35% for the field.
And Marv, how would you like to be Rick Adelman playing a lineup that probably hasn't played together the whole night as they give up a 3-point play on the inbound because they weren't matched up? This lineup for Sacramento probably hasn't played over 25 to 15 minutes the whole year, and in the fourth quarter of a deciding game as we see Finley take it baseline and one. He's stuck with going small when that's a last resort for Rick Adelman.
That's coming out of a timeout, communicating who's got who on the floor. You're not looking at the basketball when the official hands it over, and it winds up being a long pass and a quick score.
And we have seen several lows at the defensive end by the Kings, and they have been costly. Reach and foul on Van Exel. That is his second.
This all started with the injury to Weber. Remember, they played a great game 1. But his injury took away from Bibby's effectiveness to run the pick and roll. They don't feel comfortable with Keon Clark out on the floor or Scott Powers, so they've had to break their whole normal rotation because of their injury to their best player.
Jeff, what's happened to Keon Clark? Earlier in the year, everybody was praising the fact that this may have been one of the best pickups in the NBA by a team, adding Keon Clark to their roster. Here he's got 6 minutes in the game tonight.
They must not trust him to play perimeter defense against Nowitzki or a Walt Williams.
Here's Williams, air ball, fielded by Bobby Jackson. Jackson tried to accelerate. Turkoglu for 3. Nash is on it. He has Nowitzki with him. Nowitzki, quick. Turkoglu got a piece of it. Good play by Hito. There's Jim Jackson. Yes! What a performance by Jim Jackson. 7 of 8 from the field. 3 for 3 from downtown. He has 18 doing it against his former team, and he's brought the Kings with an 8. Nash, yes.
That's the second time Turkoglu's been switched on to Nash on a pick and roll, and he's contained it neither time. That's a tough cover for him.
Oh, beautiful hesitation move by Bibby. The Mavericks went forward, and Bibby had the clear path.
So Nowitzki turned around to his teammates as if to say, what are we doing on that? Come on.
Mavericks 80, Kings 73. Minute and a half in, fourth quarter. Nowitzki, yes. Dirk Nowitzki with a spectacular all-around game. 24 points, 17 rebounds. 82-73 Dallas. Jackson. Jim Jackson looking for position. Had to give it up. Turkoglu. And here's Bobby Jackson for three. Yes. Bobby Jackson from downtown. So here are the Kings within six. Nowitzki. Now Van Exel. Played by Jackson. Shot clock down to 5. Nowitzki. Another three. Turkoglu played that one about as good as he could. He tried not to turn his back. He stays about maybe 8 inches of space between them. Just enough for Nowitzki to score. And Bibby is able to penetrate once again. We are seeing incredible offensive play here in the fourth quarter.
And one of the reasons is both teams have no shot blocking in the game, so when you go to the basket, there's no one there to give support.
Now Nash is fouled. Mark, on every basket, Don Nelson and his staff jump up and keep yelling out, run the ball back at him, push the ball back at him. When Bibby takes this thing to the basket, as soon as the ball goes in, they're yelling at their team to run back there, trying to wear out Sacramento. This time you see Turkoglu is as close as you can be, but not quite close enough. Bobby Jackson called for the foul. That sends Steve Nash to the line. Roger Bell is back. So Dallas with Nash and Van Exel at the guards. Finley, Bell, and Nowitzki up front. Who will get the number 1 pick? Well, you can tune to ABC Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, to watch the NBA Draft Lottery Show and see which team will get that first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft. You guys have any interest in that?
I think it'd be great if the Cavaliers got the first pick in the draft, or the Nuggets, or the Heat, or Toronto. I'm for everyone.
You changed quickly. Jim Jackson again. That's a two-pointer. He had a foot on the line. Jim Jackson, 8 of 9. He has 20 points.
Don Nelson had just given his team the signal before to switch the pick and rolls. They forgot to do it on that one.
There's Finley rejected. And last touch by Turkoglu. Now timeout is taken with 8:39 remaining in this fourth quarter. It's the 7th and final game between the Kings and the Mavericks.
On Dish on Demand pay-per-view.
It's a fact. 2 Drew Carries, 2 Home Improvements, 2 Seinfeld and Friends. Come on, it's fun. Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh, Jay.
Oh, you. The Non-Stop Comedy Block, weekdays starting at 4:30 Eastern on TBS Superstation.
The final game of the series between Dallas and Sacramento, the final game of the season for one of these two teams. The complexity of the series changed with injury to Chris Webber. Chris, how have you been able to handle the disappointment and the pain of not being able to play in the series?
Just my faith in the Lord. But truthfully, this is the first time I felt like I've been injured the whole series on Game 7. It's really a helpless feeling being on the side right now.
It's not desperation time for your team, but it's getting close. Going for unconventional small lineup. What has to happen here for you guys to pull this off?
We just have to play hard, bring the energy and rebound. We got Jimmy Jackson, Bobby out there, so we got some tough guys out there. We should be able to rebound.
If you can pull this game out, will you be able to play in the next series?
Hopefully by Game 5.
Thank you very much, Chris. 5-time All-Star with the Sacramento Kings.
He has it penciled in for Game 5. On the turnover, Sacramento on the run. Here is Bibby. Mike Bibby has made major contributions here tonight. 23 points. Nash, right back, gets caught on the foul. And again, the Kings are not able to handle transition.
It's hard to believe that this is happening because it comes after a fast break that your team gets on its own, and everybody did not run back. You see, it's Turkoglu, and you see Bobby Jackson back. They're trying to talk it out. Who's got whom? Nobody has Nash. And I'll tell you, Stojaković within a yard back. He's got to sprint ahead of the ball, forget his man, and close off that driving gap.
Mavericks 90 Kings. 82, Marv Albert with the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, Craig Sager, Cheryl Miller. We're in Dallas for the 7th and deciding game of the Western Conference semifinals. Winner will move on to face San Antonio. Finley is fouled from behind. Turgolo and Bobby Jackson converging. It's on Turgolo. That is his 3rd, and Sacramento with their 4th team foul.
Different owners like to sit different places. Mark Cuban, the owner of Dallas, sits on the baseline right at the end of the bench. Here are the 4 Maloof brothers who are sitting on the sideline next to their team's bench. Both like to watch the game and cheer their teams on from different positions. And they've both done an unbelievable job turning around franchises that were struggling until they took over. They deserve a lot of the credit for setting the tone for how the turnaround was going to take place, and their enthusiasm has become infectious with their team.
Mavericks have opened up a 10-point lead. They've led by as many as 12. That was back in the first half. Here's Bibby trying to give it up. Picked off by Van Exel. Dallas on the run. Now the Kings get back. They clear it out for Van Exel. Finley for 3. Yes. An 8-0 run for Dallas. Rick Adelman calling for time.
Don Nelson mentioned to us that Finley's been playing much better the last couple of games. He's feeling better. He's showing it now with his stroke.
A look at tonight's Budweiser headlines. First of all, according to published reports, Larry Brown says he is not certain if he will return as head coach of the 76ers next season. That sounds familiar, but you wonder how Allen Iverson, showing up about a half hour before last night's game against the Pistons, plays into that thinking. That's been an ongoing situation.
Could be that or the Olympics coming up. Going to occupy a lot of time.
Nets and Pistons will play for the Eastern Conference title. Game 1 tomorrow on ABC, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And right here in Dallas, it is win or go home for the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. 7:20 to go in the 4th. Divac is fouled. He is clobbered. It's a flagrant on Roger Bell.
And that's an excellent call by Steve Gaffey and a big momentum turner. They came out, Sacramento did a good job of using the corner to throw the lob pass. Here's Jimmy Jackson to Divac, and then he took him down and finished him off. I think an excellent call and could be a huge turning point.
And what Rick Adelman did is he figured that Nowitzki guarding Divac would front him again like he did the first half, so they went to the corner, like you said, Jeff, to get a better angle to throw that lob over the top.
2 free throws plus possession for Sacramento.
And right now, Sacramento just has to hang in there, keep their poise, take the right shots, and don't be deflated by a couple makes.
Stojaković for 3, yes. Well, that was the right shot, and it's an 8-point game.
Taking a timeout, throwing something up, getting the team reorganized, winds up putting 5 points back on the board for Sacramento.
Stojaković with his 3rd 3. He has 17 points. Nowitzki looks to answer.
If you're going to rotate or miss the rotations, don't miss the rotations in Nowitzki. Rotate him, make an extra pass to another person.
Dallas on fire from downtown. Nowitzki reaching in to knock it away. Nash came up with the ball. Here comes Bell. Has Nowitzki and Finley. Finley the corner is able to score. Mavericks 100. And the Kings 87. A good reaction by Dallas after that 5-point swing. Rare miss for Jim Jackson. Dirk Nowitzki with his 18th rebound, along with 30 points.
The game goes from 13 down to 8. Then because of a missed rotation to Nowitzki, it goes right back up now to 13.
Van Exel for three. Sacramento calls for time. 8-0 run by Dallas. And the Mavericks now 10 of 17 from beyond that three-point line. Van Exel with 18 points. The Mavericks by 16. For the Mavericks, another 8-0 run, their second 8-0 spurt here in the fourth quarter.
Sacramento has put the game back to an 8-point difference when the whole thing started out by a rotation coming late to Nowitzki. You cannot be late to him. He hits the three, even though he gets a little help from the rim. Then Finley in transition shows the athleticism, his ability to finish, changing the ball on over. Big Van Exel comes off the high screen, faces up, and hits the next three. 3-2-3-8, and the game is back up to a 16-point lead for Dallas.
Sacramento shooting 7 for 10 this fourth quarter, yet they're getting blown out. The reason, Dallas 4 for 4 from downtown in the quarter. Doug Christie checks back in. Christie 0 for 6 from the field. Here's Bobby Jackson. Roger Bell for Steve Nash. 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Mavericks with their biggest lead of the night.
So the scenario down the stretch is we may see a lot of three-pointers from Sacramento try to get themselves back in it. We're going to see Dallas push every opportunity, but if it's not a clear layup, they're going to come out and run the clock down.
Finley. Michael Finley has caught fire. He has 18 points. Jim Jackson posting up. 22 points for Jim Jackson. Crowd at 20,595 here. The largest crowd in American Airlines Center history for any event. Nash to the crossover. Nash on the rebound, able to work it through. And puts on a dribbling exhibition. Standing ovation for Steve Nash and the Mavericks. And Dallas using the clock down to 5 on the 24. Here's a three from Van Exel. The Mavericks 5 for 5 from downtown in the fourth quarter.
Excellent clock management. Finley shot one in with 2 seconds remaining on the 24. That one had 2 seconds remaining on the 24.
It's all Dallas here in the fourth quarter. And a foul is called on Bibby.
The idea is to run the clock down as far as possible. You must try to keep control of Nash off dribble penetration. There we see another one drained just as the shot clock is ready to expire. And let's face it, Dallas has more firepower than Sacramento without Weber. Weber is a difference maker. His low post game puts more pressure on Nowitzki defensively. As we saw in game 1, Dallas has taken advantage beautifully of that injury and are going to move on. They played outstanding offense here in the fourth quarter.
Bibby, it's a 14-4 run for the Mavericks. They lead 109 to 91. A Dallas team that went 60 and 22 in the regular season, tied with San Antonio for the best record in the league. Went through a tough series with Portland. They took the first three, then Blazers came back and won 3, leading to a 7th and final game here in Dallas that was won by the Mavericks. Bobby Jackson with a nice move. Rebounded by Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, Jeff, you know this as well as anyone. You've been to an NBA Finals before, but it takes talent, a talented team. It takes excellent coaching to put the whole thing together, and then there's that essence of luck that must be involved to allow you to stay healthy enough to have a shot at winning the whole thing. Sometimes teams get bit by the injury bug, and it's just too much to recover from. Well, think about it. If Nowitzki had gone out and Weber had stayed healthy, does anybody think this series wouldn't have been so much different?
Yes, Chris Weber suffering a torn cartilage in his left knee. Rick Adelman's team went 59-23 in the regular season, on top of the Pacific, third best record in the league behind San Antonio and Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, you'll recall, in Game 7 last season in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, only 2 of 11. Major disappointment in his career after having a solid season, and he's 0 for 6 here tonight, just 4 points.
Mark, that's why you always stress to your team home court advantage. Sacramento was 1 game behind Dallas, and that's why the regular season is so important. Get the final 48 minutes on your floor is often the determining factor.
And Exel. Finley with the steal. And a long play by Michael Finley, and they'll play the clock once again. The Dallas Mavericks headed to the Western Conference Final for the first time since back in 1988. The San Antonio Spurs will host Game 1 on Monday night at the SBC Center in the River City. Foul is called. Foul on Jim Jackson. Don Nelson will advance to a conference final for the first time since '86 as head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. They went up against the Boston Celtics. Celtics won that series in 4.
And Marv, I had the pleasure of working for Coach Nelson, and he is an offensive genius. And he has brought a different type of game to the Dallas Mavericks that fits their personnel. He has a great balance between freedom and discipline. His players play with the utmost level of confidence.
Don Nelson in his 5th season as head coach here, and Dallas is 25th as an NBA head coach. Once again, a standing ovation for the Mavericks, who come up with another Game 7 victory at home. Shot clock down to 4. Nowitzki rebounded by Stojaković. Here's Bobby Jackson. 110-95. Many heroes tonight for the Mavericks, but the number 1 guy, Dirk Nowitzki, who was facing the pressure after having a quiet series, but he's played 44 minutes. He's gone 12 for 19. He has 30 points, 19 rebounds. Just under 1 minute remaining. Jim Jackson.
And Marv, I believe that his personal coach will be in San Antonio on Monday. Remember, 2-2 during the regular season. San Antonio winning one of those games in overtime here in Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki averaged 27 points in the 4 games against San Antonio.
Once again, Nash works the clock down and then able to score. A half minute remaining in the Sacramento Kings season. Bobby Jackson, while the Mavericks will make their way to the Western Conference Final Series. Steve Nash just dribbling it out. The Mavericks beat the Blazers at 7, and now at the feet of the Kings in 7. Coming up with a blistering 4th quarter. shot clock violation. Both teams now shaking hands as time runs out. With a 112-99 victory. Dirk Nowitzki with 30 points, 19 rebounds. Nick Van Exel, 23 points. Steve Nash and Michael Finley each with 18. And the owner of the Mavs, Mark Cuban, just delighted that he will be headed to San Antonio for Game 1 on Monday night. Mike Bibby led Sacramento with 25. Another strong game for the former Mavericks. Jim Jackson, 7-12, 24 points. Let's go over to Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, with Vlade, Vlade, 14 years in the league. You've won world championships. You've won Olympic medals. What does this loss here in this game mean to you?
Well, it's obviously disappointing loss for us. We had a lot of injuries this year. We fought hard for playoffs, but we came up short.
After last year, losing Game 7 to the Lakers in overtime, this was supposed to be your guys' year. Where does this franchise go? Can you bounce back?
Well, I'm sure, we're going to stay positive. We had a great year. Obviously, injuries play a big role on this team this year, and we're going to stay, like I said, positive, come back next year and try to do much better.
Thank you very much, Vlade. Now let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Craig. Well, Dirk, I understand you had to make an emergency call to get your former coach here. 30 points, 19 boards. What prompted the phone call?
Well, I haven't really played well in the whole series. Kind of sleepwalking out there. My shot wasn't really going. So, he always helps me out, especially mentally. He comes in and tells me to stay focused and worked on a little bit the shooting for the game. And, he's big for me the whole career, and I was glad he came.
Now, 2 Game 7. Did you get a lot of confidence from winning that series against Portland for tonight?
I think so. That really helps. We don't really have a lot of playoff experience, but the first round against Portland was great. We knew what we had to do in Game 7, come out strong, play good defense, and move the ball, and that's what we did today.
You said that you were sleepwalking throughout the series, but the guy who wasn't was Nick Van Exel. Can you say enough positive things what he was able to contribute in this series?
He was unbelievable. I think he really won the series for us. It started even in the Portland series in Game 7 where he took over at the end of the game, really won the game for us. So hopefully he keeps playing like that and we'll be in good shape.
It'll be in Texas too, sir.
That'll be great. Yeah, I'll look forward to it.
Congratulations, sir. Let's send it back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. An impressive stat line for Dirk Nowitzki. 12 for 20, 30 points, 19 rebounds. The Mavericks advance to the Western Conference Final Series. They'll face the San Antonio Spurs starting with Game 1 exclusively here on TNT Monday night. That'll be 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Dallas able to break it open within a 4.5-minute stretch of the fourth quarter. They scored 22 points in 4.5 minutes. Thanks to our producer, Scooter Bertino, our director, Renardo Lowe, our statistician, Brian Taylor. The Dallas Mavericks, 112, and the Sacramento Kings, 99. Stay tuned for more post-game reaction interviews and news on Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. So for the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, Craig Sager, and Cheryl Miller, and the rest of our crew, this is Marv Albert saying goodnight from American Airlines Center. We'll take a short break, then it's on to Ernie for Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. We'll see you Monday night in San Antonio for game number 1.
Next